Welcome back to Simply Trade Tips with Hammer and Heels, or otherwise known as me, Renee Cuccarelli, and I'm here with Julie Parks. As always, we'll leave you with calls to action to help you figure it out, FIO, Julie's term, in 5 minutes. The other thing we wanted to mention is that this is our Tariff Chaos series. We have probably six we're going to have 6 episodes. So make sure you refer back to the other ones because we're going to reference those on occasion. Okay, Julie, what are we talking about today?
So under Tariff Chaos, I think we need to discuss how not to waste a good crisis. Okay. So for me, there's a couple of tips in here. One is, your branding, right? So as you are working through Tariff Chaos, you are likely getting more visibility, taking a pause and checking to make sure that you're representing yourself professionally the way that you want to be perceived, I think is our little good first tip. But Renee, how can you implement that?
Operationally, I literally bought a book called Branding for Dummies.
Did you?
But so there are so many things you like, for example, you can obviously buy books. You can research. AI is probably good as well. But one of the things I like to do is, do a mission and my values. What is my mission? Do I want to get promoted? Do I want to be an executive? Do I want to, do advocacy? So what do I want to do? What's my mission? And then what are my values? Am I compliant? Am I more risk adverse? So I would start with that, Julie.
It's like creating your own marketing tagline for yourself, right? Like what matters to you and what do you want to come across? Is it efficiency? Is it whatnot? And then the second thought that we had was thinking about how and being very intentional about how are you elevating customs in your organizations or in your trade proper in your broader organization. So this might look a little bit more like not yourself, but your department. Are you asking for the right talent? Is now the time to do so if you need to switch that up a little bit? How are you positioning your department as being helpful or mandatory? Maybe there's some mandatory pieces that you're putting into policy now. Renee, how should folks think about putting this into practice?
So elevating your trade group and your organization means to me operationally, maybe making sure you're in the newsletter, making sure you're part of the right task force and committees, making sure customs has a voice in your organization. And it's easy now. I mean, back when Julie and I started, they're like, oh, you do what? You clear. All you do is move freight. You don't clear freight. But today we're on the front of the New York Times every other minute. So there's this, that's why I think the name of our show, Don't Waste a Good Crisis, is awesome because now we're in front and center. So you can get into these meetings and these task force, get to these industry events, make sure your organization is valuing you and your department and making sure that you have, it's easy now for us to demonstrate that, I think, but make sure you're on the right task force, make sure you're in the, newsletter.
Such a good setup, Renee, for like our third thread to pull on here. So there's a lot of projects that you probably have worked in the past that you were told no about. No, you can't automate. No, you can't shift your org structure. No, you can't implement an automated solution for a mitigation program. So the third tip on not wasting a good crisis is making sure that you front and center in your mind are thinking about those specific compliance projects that were shelved in the past and how can you work them into the conversation today in today's terms, right? So it might not be an exact fit. Sometimes it's a bit a round peg in a square hole and you got to be creative about it. But the idea is that those things were good and they were well thought under a non-crisis moment. So why wouldn't they be relevant today?
Awesome. I love that, Julie. Because a lot of people are so overwhelmed, they're probably not even thinking this, right? Oh my God, let me go back to my list and pull that out. That's awesome.
Exactly.
All right. That's our call to action. Figure it out. What is that, Julie, for today's?
So I think we want folks to really hone in on that third item and really look at those shelved compliance projects that you had. pick one of them, put them on a list, if you want, have you have multiple, so that when you're having discussions about tariffs, you can bring it into the forefront.
So create a dream list.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. And don't forget, everyone, please go to our Trade Geeks website, our community, and keep the conversation going. Let us know. Did you create the dream list? Let Hammer and Heels know.